da, 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 da. Hey, what's going on, you guys? Super duper excited to be here on this side. And just so let me just put this out there really quick, just so that it is understood. I have erased my app off of my phone for Facebook and for Instagram and for Messenger. And part of that reason being is because I'm not going to be more loyal to any other program or service besides the app where my own community is. Am I going to still be there? Absolutely. Am I going to? Oh, I'm trying to find a good topic for this because I'm going to have to add some more topics. But now I'm going to be here because I'm developing my own community. I will still be there so that I can market myself, get to know my community that's over there, transition people over here. But it's one of those things where I definitely couldn't just do it abruptly. It's something that was going to take some time. And so, Anywho, I am here because I wanted to share some wisdom and some insights with you all. Those of you that follow me, you know that I mention one name a lot, and that's Brother Bedford. And what he has going on right now, I signed up for something where he's doing this thing where a lot of African American leaders in business, like Dennis Kimbrough, Les Brown, Lisa Nichols, and stuff, they're doing some live streaming, and they're basically, just bringing some wisdom and knowledge, to the audience, to us, to people, so that we can keep a level head and stay encouraged. And then, of course, because Dr. Frazier is the one that's spearheading this, it's also to, promote his conference that he has coming up. Excellent, excellent move, right? To get the powerhouses there. But that's not why I'm here to talk. But I brought that up because I want to give credit where credit is due. And so one of today was Lisa Nichols' day. Lisa Nichols was on there, and she said a couple of comments, and it actually just tickled me pink because it made me think about some people, that are in my life. A lot of individuals might think like, oh man, August, you probably getting bombarded, with phone calls all the time and people trying to get, free advice from you or, soak up your wisdom and blah, 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 blah. And you know what? That is half true and half false. And the reason why it's half true is because a lot of times people do reach out to me. But there's also something with the essence of my brand that people don't necessarily try to freebie seek from me anymore. And a lot of people are like, man, I'm just gonna respect that sister, and unless I can come with some money, they have that feeling of if I can't come correct, I won't come at all. But that's not the primary reason why people do not come to me for wisdom or advice. A lot of them don't come to me because my position about business sometimes often feels like a dream killer. And the reason why I say that is because the people will be like, oh, this is what I'm going to do. And they should know better. They should know that if they confide in me, the kind of questions and the things that I'm going to bring up is only because I want them to be on their A game, never because I want to stop them. So a lot of times I'll have entrepreneur friends that will be like, yeah, I'm doing this, and they like map out the whole thing. And they be like, what you think? And I'd be like, great, follow your dream. And like, yeah, but what you think? And I'm like, but do you really want to know what I think? Because if you really want to know what I think, you probably even already know what I'm going to say. You would have told me before you executed. So since you executed, I don't really have anything to say to you other than congratulations, because you already made up your mind. And so a lot of times I see a lot of entrepreneurs spend a lot of time and a lot of money doing a lot of things. And while they may have done something great and it may be a beautiful thing, they definitely, you can learn from everything, but we have to be honest. We can't say that even though we can learn from everything, that doesn't mean that it wasn't a mistake. Just because we can learn from everything doesn't mean that we can't say that it wasn't possible that we should have made a better decision. And so this is why I called the video Research and Development is Real, because I was listening to Lisa Nichols, and the question was asked to her, if she could wave a magic wand and fix one problem, what would that one problem be? She said that she wishes that she could wave a magic wand so that she could get more people that want to be in business to understand how important it is to research and develop your business idea and network. She said, because so many entrepreneurs either are lone rangers and do it on their own, or they exhaust all of their financial resources into these expensive products, and it's just not time for them to purchase them and for them to jump into that level. And I was like, high five, girlfriend. I might be a little low, but I am feeling you, because that's what I'll do. People are like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. I'll be like, okay, so how much is it going to cost? How much time is it going to take from you? What kind of revenue are you going to generate from it? Is it short term or is it long term strategy? If it's long term strategy, have you even mapped out what the potential plan looks like? It's not about trying to figure out every single little bitty detail. But so, I mean, I see a lot of people, it's like, yeah, you spend a lot of money doing this one thing over here, but now when it's time to spend the money to do this, which is the most important thing for your business, you can't, because you were flying high in the clouds trying to do this big thing over here. And so I've seen it be with anything and everything, from different types of promotional strategies to course creation to whatever it is that you can think of, where people will put the cart before the horse instead of really taking the time to do the research. And so I'm not going to lie to you guys. There are a lot of things that I throw out there that are total fucking duds. There are a lot, but there are significant things out there that when I throw them out there, they're on point. So like I'll throw my typical stuff out there, because even when it looks like it's slow and it's not gonna work, this is what I do. And I'm gonna be the master at, drumming up involvement and motivation and organic reach and all of this stuff, and it's just gonna work out. But then there are other times when I throw stuff out there and it doesn't. Like, one of the things I'm going to throw out there pretty soon is my Authentic Collective Academy. Now, in my mind, it makes total, complete, perfect sense. In my spirit, I can see why sisters may need it. But then I might get stuck into that. It can go one or two ways. I can get stuck into that point where that cliche comes out. It was too affordable, so people couldn't appreciate it. They couldn't see the value. Or I'm right on time with the climate of what's going on in the world today, and people are like, I got to do whatever I can, but my money is limited. But I can squeeze $27 out of my hands so that I can pay to be in this academy every month. You know what I'm saying? And so, and I don't know which way it'll go. And I'll push and I'll push and I'll push and I'll push and I'll push. And I'll push until I say, this is really a dud. Or I'll push and say, maybe I need to revamp it. Maybe I need to revamp the promotion. You know what I'm saying? And so research and development doesn't even necessarily mean that you always even change the product, but it may mean that you change your approach. And I learned that the hard way my first time around, but luckily I had the tenacity to do it, because I was launching the same program over and over again in 2016. But in the summer of 2016, nobody bought it. And in the late summer of 2016, when I lost again, nobody bought it. And when I tried to do it in the fall of 2016, nobody bought it. But when I did it in the winter of 2016, right before the new year, then I got people that started buying it. And all I needed was that one time to launch a group program. And I don't care whether I got 5 people or 15 people, because I've always done these smaller, intimate groups. I've always been able to have members in my group program. Always. With it. And I've even had times where I've been like, okay, you know what? I don't even want to do this way no more. I don't want these people in here. And I've had to shift and pivot and change it. But it wasn't the program that had to change. I tightened up my marketing. I built up my audience. You know what I'm saying? I changed some things around. And then even with that, it's still research and development. There are a lot of things that I was like, wow, I thought that they needed this, but then I realized they needed this other foundational thing first. They needed all of these things, but then I had to throw this in the middle. And when you do something over and over and over and over and over again, see, this is why you be needing at least a solid 5 years before you really map something down. A lot of y'all think y'all just gonna come out here and you're gonna you're gonna create a product or service, you're gonna put it out there, people gonna drool over it, you're gonna go to have this email list. And it's like, no, but if you can at least begin to get people to buy into what you're doing, then get them the results that they're looking for, it is still your responsibility. And my version of what I say for what Lisa Nichols says is that you must be a student of your business. So now that I'm getting ready to launch the Authentic Collective Academy, please understand, my first successful group was launched at the end of 2016. It evolved and expanded rapidly in 2017. We are in 2020. So we're talking between 3.5 to almost 4 years later that I have compiled so many different trainings that I have seen consistently have to be done over and over and over and over again with women in business to be very confident with saying that these things all of you need. And then depending on your makeup, you may need this or you may need that. And I can divvy it up and push it out there. And so the question a lot of you all need to be asking yourself is what kind of time, effort, and energy have you really put into research and development into your business? And then when you want to add on these extra spin-off things, especially if you're going to start spending money and it's going to start costing you time and energy, where can that time and energy be spent? I am really big. The things that I create, that's the other thing. I have things that I want to do, but I have things that I have to do. And the things that I have to do are the things that my clients keep asking me for. By far, I've written books that I've wanted to write, and I know that my audience has needed them because it is products or services that I have done as a course. And so that's like me planting seed, long game strategy, because I know down the road people are going to buy those books because it's been proven over the test of time. But then, like for instance, this book that I'm writing on called Biblical Business, that's not something that I just pulled up out of my hat and I said, "Ooh, I'm doing this because I want to." I've had too many people ask me spiritual questions or show up with spiritual dilemmas, and so even though I'm not going to get a shit ton of money and get rich off of it, I do know that when I launch this book, I'm going to get a lot of sales and get them quickly because people want it and they have been waiting for it. So, research and development. Are you guilty? Are you guilty of doing something and thinking that if you just spend this money on this big project, on this big course, on this big thing, and you put something out there that is going to be the meal ticket to help your business grow? Or are you saying, let me take my time and weave myself into this process, get the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding so that over the test of time, I can build a business and it's still profitable and sustainable, especially even in times like right now, considering what all we have going on with the word that I don't even want to say no more. I'm so sick and tired of hearing the name. Okay. So, anyway, that's my nugget for you all. You all have a good evening. I'm going to get out of here. Deuces.